We are now into hour number 4 on the internet streams. We are number 1 on Shoutcast, period. Number 1 on the web for radio on the internet. And we're not just on the internet, we're on AM and FM, shortwave, satellite. We thank all those affiliates. Okay, David Icke, finishing up with the nature of reality, and then expanding into not just the positive reality and love and light and goodness, but then we're going to get into the dark side and what makes up the enemy. People need to understand that. David Icke.
Well, this is the key, and this might shock a few people when they think about it. But this reality that we are experiencing as solid walls and a apparently solid world is just an illusion. The only place it exists is in our heads, and it is what I call the holographic internet. If I'm in this room now, and if I look around, there's the wireless internet is in this room, but I can't see it. But if I get a computer and I tune it into the wireless internet, suddenly I have a complete worldwide collective reality called the World Wide Web, which can be accessed anywhere in China, though firewalled off to a large extent, Australia, South America, London, anywhere in the world. People can tap in through that computer into the same collective reality. What they make of it is their unique spin, but it's the same reality. And if you said to people, tell me about the internet, they'd say, well, it's graphics and websites and colors and, on a screen. Yes, it is. But the only place the internet exists in that form is on the screen, nowhere else. Everywhere else it's electronic circuits, etc. You say to people, tell me about television. They say, well, it's programs and moving pictures on the screen. Yes, it is. But the only place that television exists in that form is on the screen. Everywhere else, it is electronic circuits and frequency fields, which the television decodes into those pictures. What we do through this physical vehicle, what we call physical anyway, is we're decoding a reality on exactly the same principle, though fantastically more sophisticated, as the wireless internet. And this is where we get our collective reality from. Now, this is vital to the conspiracy, Alex, because if you know this and the people don't, then you can manipulate the way they decode reality to fit what you want those people to do. What is a stage hypnotist doing on a stage? He is manipulating the stooges' sense of reality. In other words, the way they decode reality. So he'll give one, for instance, a potato, and they'll eat the potato, but he beforehand will have programmed the brain, the decoding system, to believe that it's an apple. So as the message goes from the taste buds to the brain as an electrical signal, the brain decodes that not as a potato, but as an apple. You try telling that guy he's not eating an apple, because he's tasting it. I went to stage hypnotist shows when I was researching all this, and I watched it happen. I watched people reel back with fantastic smells that never existed, but had just been programmed in. When I say this word, you're going to smell the smell of this. It's all manipulation.
Well, it shows predictive programming, and they have those TV shows where they really do it, and they found in studies that the population is more suggestible, massively more suggestible than they were just 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago. We're being programmed by TV to be more suggestible, and now everything's like Times Square, where they're taking over reality with blimps and with TV screens, and where everything is becoming this Minority Report world.
And because they know that this information I'm talking about now, they understand this at the shadow people level, and they are programming, just like hypnotists, and they are hypnotists, they're programming the decoding system of the brain to decode reality, this wireless internet, this holographic cosmic internet, if you like, we call the physical world, to decode it in a way that suits them in terms of limitation, in terms
and that's what we are. We're all these individual biomechanical machines marching around the surface of a giant planetoid covered by oceans and a thin ribbon of atmosphere, who are all individually experiencing just a very narrow band of reality, and then they're even trying to program that narrow band and use our social conditioning to keep us in very small parameters, David, correct?
They're trying to isolate us in the body consciousness vehicle, which has an ability to think for itself. It's not just like an ordinary computer. It's a biological computer. It has the ability to think for itself and react to environmental changes. That's what we call physical evolution.
David, we're going to skip this break. It's too important. Only on the InfoWars streams and PrisonPlanet.tv. All right, David, we're going to come back and finish up with what you're saying in 3 minutes, but I don't want to waste any of this time for the huge internet audience. Why don't you, continue along this line, but a separate substrata? I mean, give us some microcosm example of the point you were just making.
Well, if you take the stage hypnotist situation, where he's programming into the mind, into the brain, he's actually programming the computer to read reality in a certain way, and then you put it on the collective level. That's what Wolf Blitzer is doing, Alex. That's what people in colleges and schools and academics are doing, often overwhelmingly not because they know that's what they're doing, but these people are hypnotists.
Well, they are products of the system. You take the Delphi technique, one of many corporate techniques. Now, if you watch Fox especially, they talk to you like you're a child, and It's all done in a happy hi. Oh, hi there. You're watching us. Before we wanted stern people that it was authoritative. Now, it's like we're children. Oh, it's incredible. Crucially,
the thing is, this is the whole bottom line of it, is that consciousness, that which we are eternally, experiences this reality through the vehicle. And the vehicle itself has the ability to think up to a certain point because it's reacting to environmental influences all the time. What they want to do is isolate our sense of reality into the vehicle and keep consciousness, the soul, some people call it, out of the decision-making process, out of the awareness process, and therefore hold everyone in a state of limitation. So you take a consciousness out of it, expanded consciousness out of it, you can turn people into basically, and it is a sophisticated, more advanced version of robots. You've got computers, and they react as you put input in, you press
replicants,
enter, and out it comes. And what's interesting, Alex, is as people expand their consciousness, and we have this awakening, when they're pressing enter, they're more and more not getting what the computer would normally react with. And
so the establishment
not buying this now.
So the establishment has to shake things up, have calamities, terrorize the public back into buying the official reality. And the establishment says, if you buy into the official reality, if you do what we say, if you go along with the bailout, then everything will be okay. But then it isn't okay, and they say, well, go along with this again, and this time it'll be okay. So I think in the final equation, they don't want us innately or from our core, our instincts, from the ether, making decisions on our own. They want us with their manual to only make decisions according to what they've prescribed, to never think on our own, but only go off of what Madison Avenue and the map makers of the mind say and engineer. I want your take on that as we go live right now.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
I asked David Icke earlier to plug some of his books and videos, and he said, nope, I'm not going to plug them. I don't care about that. Well, he's an amazing individual, but he does have great books and videos, very enlightening. They'll wake a lot of people up, and you need to get them at davidicke.com. And I've gotten to that point, too. That's why I say my videos are all free on the Internet. They're in higher quality at prisonplanet.tv, or get them and make copies. But at the same time, you need to support people like David Icke and myself, because then we can have more people, do more, take more action. I'm running more of a news organization, so my needs are greater. So that keeps me back on the straight and narrow of just trying to fund this operation. David now is just traveling around the world, speaking to huge crowds of people and writing books and making videos every year, and we just really appreciate him. David, I was asking you the question for the InfoWars Internet audience. Now we're back on the main audience about the map makers of the mind. It's also dangerous if we unlock minds, or people unlock their own minds by us pointing out that they're locked, and then the New World Order has set up lots of spiritual traps, or lots of, you wouldn't even call it spiritual, coding traps is what I would call them, of false rabbit trails, which are meant to suck people into very dangerous cults, very dangerous Eastern organizations, all sorts of New World Order stuff, because the New World Order knows this, they're into it, so they've made it all very dark, and they capture people that break up through the control matrix, and they're swimming up, and the New World Order captures them in I'm on TV right now. I'm showing people, here's the mass control consciousness that believes the Federal Reserve is federal and the government loves you and everything's fine and melamine, plastic's good for your kidneys and poison's good for you. They're down here, but more and more are breaking through, swimming up. So the New World Order's created lots of false solutions and it's very sophisticated. And then they infest the consciousness crowd and knowing that people are going to escape, they're there to capture them. How do people protect themselves from that?
Well, this is the bottom line of what they're doing, Alex. You can call it soul, I call it infinite consciousness, expanded consciousness, whatever you like. The idea is to keep that from imposing or infusing its level of wisdom and awareness and love and the understanding that everything is one through the physical vehicle computer into this reality. It wants to isolate the computer and then into what I call body consciousness, which also includes the lower auric field, the electromagnetic field.
And then have us manifest evil through it, using us as a puppet.